He's definitely gotten his voice back. Today's the first day that he's sitting by the windows and meowing. Uh-oh. Oh no. What's he doing?
Stella, Splash, Simba, Hydrox, Ditto, and Boo. The Lucky Ferals.
It is 9:17 a.m. and today for the first time I decided to feed the cats, look at this, before Ditto because, you know, they're all under my feet. So I said, let me feed them first. And so I'm here with Boo trying to get him to finish his food. And all of a sudden we heard the loudest howl. And the cats were freaked out. They're like, what is going on? And I knew it was Ditto. Right away I knew it was Ditto. And I was like, oh my God, he's definitely getting his voice back because that was the loudest that I've heard him yet. I opened his door to see what was going on and he was right near the door looking. So he obviously smells food out here. So I'm gonna go put his plate together. It is 9:23 and I just gave Ditto the first half of his breakfast. It is a scoop of homemade raw food with one of the Stella and Chewy's Duck Duck Goose patties mixed in with the dry herbs, with some salmon oil, with some B complex and a little bit of tuna. And when I walked in the door, Ditto went under the day sofa. So I'm standing here waiting for him to come out. The other thing that I should mention is that this pet remedy diffuser has been running all night and it smells really good in here. Also, when I was looking at the security camera footage this morning from overnight, Ditto spent a lot of time sitting on this rug and grooming himself. So we can see all of the fur that has come out of him. And I keep looking at him and looking for bald spots because, you know, he's been grooming himself so much and there's so much cat hair in the room and I don't see any bald spots on him. Maybe there's a few on his belly, but I have not seen him grooming his belly. So this morning on the security camera, he was really like grooming his arms and his legs and his shoulders and stuff like that. So I think he's just catching up for lost time because when he was outside and not feeling very well, he wasn't really grooming himself as much. And now that he has more time on his hands because he doesn't have to spend any time or energy hunting or looking for food or looking for shelter or just being like alert for other animals, he could take that time and energy and spend it grooming. My hope is that he spends it healing. But he can be doing both at the same time. He has a very healthy appetite, and I really like the fact that he came out to eat while I'm standing here. And not just standing here, but talking, like I'm talking to a camera right now. So, good for Ditto. So this is the first half of his breakfast. When he's done, I'll give him the second half. He looks like he might have put a little bit of weight on. He doesn't look as bony as he did when he first came in here. But to be honest, I have not been trying to pet him at all. I've just been really taking the tactic of letting him get more comfortable and, you know, come towards me. And I think by, you know, delaying the food and by moving it out from under the day sofa, it's definitely going to help. He doesn't need breakfast in bed anymore because he's not limping. I'm curious to see what he does when he finishes the food on this plate. Is he going to go straight back under the day sofa? Like, or what is he going to do? He's obviously been using the litter box in the crate. And I think that's a good thing that he's been using the litter box in the crate because it means he's not afraid to go back into the crate. So if I needed to get him into the crate, I could put a plate of food in the far corner of the crate and he could go in there and eat and then I could shut the crate. It's not an ideal situation, but I'm thinking maybe I could even get him in a carrier that way. I could put a plate of food in the far end of a carrier and he would go in. Okay, he ate really well. No sneezing. I didn't notice any drool. Okay, what's he gonna do? Hey, Ditto. Drink water? Drink water? And he's gonna go right back under there. And it's about 10 or 15 minutes later. I just came in the room to give Ditto the second half of his breakfast. He wants to come out and eat it. I just put food outside for Hydrox. Hydrox is out by the back door. And go ahead, Ditto, you could eat it. And I also filled the automatic feeder. I put some dry cat food in the automatic feeder. I believe it was the Whole Earth Farms chicken recipe. Look at this. I am crouched down right next to this tray, and Ditto came out to eat, so that is such a good sign. I really think the pet remedy diffuser is helping. I really think he's feeling a little bit better because obviously we just heard him meow, and I heard him howl before. I'm going to see if the security camera picked that up so I can include it in this video. But he's definitely getting his voice back, which is good because it means some healing is going on in his mouth and his throat. So with stomatitis, not only are there lesions like around the gum area, so not only are his gums inflamed, but it can also be like the back of his mouth and like his throat area. So it's a good sign. It's a very good sign. And of course, the fact that he is so hungry is a very good sign. So he's getting the second half of what I gave him. And I also put a few more drops of the healing, just the general healing tincture in there. So he's getting a lot of additional nutrition in his food. And I gave Hydrox some canned food. I give him a little bit of canned food to see if he'll eat, and then if he does eat it, like if he's in the mood to eat, then I give him more with supplements in it, but I'm not just going to waste stuff by putting it out there and then him not eating it, and he has a tendency to do that. So I never know when he's in the mood to eat or not. So this room is a complete mess right now. There is litter all over the place. I'm glad Ditto's using the litter boxes, but he really kicks out litter all over the place. And yeah, there's cat hair everywhere, so. It looks like he finished his food, and once again, he's not sneezing, which is good. And he just went back under the day sofa. That's like his safe spot. So I'm sitting here, and I just turned the webcam on, and Ditto was coming out from under the day sofa. I'm like, where's he going? Well, the bowl that I mix his food in is on the floor, and he went to see what's in the bowl, so he is obviously still hungry. I think I'm going to put together some more food for him. I don't have any more raw food defrosted. I do have a can open. And I also have some tuna. Maybe I'll give him some tuna. I just gave him some of the Performatrin canned food that I gave Hydrox. Hydrox is actually outside eating. I mixed some water into it just to make it easier for him to eat it. When I walked in the room, he was looking out the window. I don't know if he's looking at Hydrox or what, but he was looking out the window. I came in the door. He jumped down. Then he was looking at me. But then he went under the day sofa. Obviously, that's his safe spot. And as I was putting the food on the plate, he was starting to come out from under the day sofa. So he's very, very hungry today. But this is a very big breakfast for him. So this is good. I'm not giving him any more after this. And my hope is that he does not vomit because this is a lot of food. It's 10 a.m. I'm trying to make myself breakfast. I haven't eaten anything yet, and I keep thinking I hear like a cat meowing or a cat crying. I'm like, what is going on? So I open the door to the recovery room, and look at where Ditto is. He's on the shelf near the windows. and he didn't jump down. He was only looking at me, and he meowed at me again. And I shut the door, and I'm like, okay, let me go outside and let me see what he does if I go out to the window. And look, he's just sitting here. He's not afraid. I know it's hard for you to see through the screen, but he's looking at me. He's like, what's going on? So he's definitely way more active today and way less fearful. Maybe he wants more food. Maybe I'll go give him a little bit more food. I just gave Ditto a little bit more food with water mixed in. Here he is. When I came in the room, he jumped down from near the window. He went under the day sofa, and now he just came out to eat. So I'm hoping just to keep him calm and quiet. I don't mind him moving around this room at all. It's just when he's meowing and howling, the other cats get all upset. So today is day 20. Ditto has spent 10 days on antibiotics and 10 days on herbs. He's definitely gotten his voice back. Today's the first day that he's sitting by the windows and meowing. Uh-oh. Oh no. What's he doing? He's trying to get on the live stream. There's a computer set up there. There's no live stream. I'm just recording. All right, I'm going to go in the room and see what he wants. I don't think he wants more food. I think maybe he's looking for Hydrox. Or maybe he wants to go outside. But he's obviously feeling better. It's also the first day that he's really gotten his voice back. Oh, is he going to try to go out? The window is open just a little bit. Is he going to try to go out? I don't think he could open the window. I don't think he's strong enough to open the window. Okay, so he just ate most of his food. And I'm looking out the window. I don't see Hydrox or anyone outside. I am going to shut off this Pet Remedy diffuser for now. Maybe it's working too well. And after I finish my breakfast, then I'm going to come in here, I'm going to vacuum, and I'll sit in here for a while with Ditto, and maybe I could bring my computer in here and do some work if it's going to keep him from howling. Because that's what's really affecting the other cats, his meowing. It's 12 p.m. I just came downstairs and saw this. Stella's hanging out in the carrier. How you doing, Stella? You want to go for a ride? Would you like to go for a ride? I'm going to zip up the carrier and let's see if I could carry her upstairs in the carrier. I think it'll be good training for her. Okay, that didn't work because she was able to get out faster than I could zip it up. It is 2:36 p.m. and I just gave Ditto an afternoon snack. So this is the salmon puree that I made yesterday. It was in the refrigerator and I took it out and I stirred it up and put some herbs in there for him. Some of the decongestant herbs that are also good for healing mucous membranes. And I put some herbs in there to support his kidneys, because the kidneys are the doors to detoxification, right? Right, Ditto? You always got to take care of your kidneys. So you can eat that. You can eat that. I'm about a foot away from him right now. I'm crouched down really low. He enjoyed the salmon yesterday. But you know how cats are. Maybe because it was freshly made. Maybe the fact that it's been in the refrigerator overnight, he might not like it. Or he might not like it because I'm so close to him. I'm going to get up. There he is. He's watching some ducks on TV. He's been resting quietly under the day sofa. And I think it was because I was vacuuming the room and cleaning it up. So he kind of went into retreat back there. I'm seeing some drool on the side of his mouth. We have to remember that the vet says he doesn't have many teeth left. So he has his fangs. And she said a few molars. It's like a few of his back teeth, but other than that, he doesn't have any. Okay, so Ditto just sneezed, and the only thing that came out was the salmon that he's eating. So that could be a good sign. I've seen no new additional blood anywhere else in the room. So that's a good sign also. The only thing we can do is observe and keep an eye on what's going on, and then act accordingly. Yeah, so he enjoyed that. So that was some fresh baked salmon and pureed with a little bit of water. Right now, as we speak, I am actually cooking a pot of chicken broth. I just put it on the stove. I'm going to make it really simple and plain for the cat. So just some chicken and some water. That'll be it. And I don't know, maybe a carrot, but I'm definitely not going to put any like onions or anything in it. I'm just going to keep it plain so I can mix it up with the food. Put some extra nutrition. Oh, and I added some chicken liver because I have the chicken liver that I've been pureeing for Ditto. So I added a chicken liver to the pot also. So it's just some chicken pieces and some chicken liver. He should like that. It is 8:02 p.m. And I just put some dinner out for Ditto. This is what he's looking like. It looks like maybe he was grooming his side, or maybe he's laying on some stuff underneath the day sofa. So right before I gave him this dinner, I gave him some fresh water and I cleaned out his litter boxes. It seems he's mainly using the litter box that is in the crate right now. He used the other one a little bit also. And when I came in the room, he was sitting by the window. Maybe he's looking at Hydrox out there, or I don't know what. It is 78 degrees in this room, and the humidity is about 42%. This room gets a lot of sunlight during the day because the windows face south, so it warms up, and I don't want to open the windows too much because Ditto could probably easily get out through the screen. And I'm not going to put the air conditioning on in the entire house when the entire house is perfectly fine. So Ditto's just going to have to deal with it. It's not terribly hot. Like if it got above like 80, then I would definitely consider putting the air on. But that would also mean the rest of the house is much hotter also. I'm not a fan of air conditioning. I love hot weather. This is my absolute favorite time of the year. I love summer. Okay, so he's eating his food. He's getting 2 scoops of the homemade raw food and then one of the Stella and Chewy's chicken patties, just because he was so hungry at breakfast. So I am going to increase his serving sizes again. I had knocked it down to like 1 scoop and 1 patty, or 2 scoops, and so I increased it again to like 2 scoops and a patty, or 3 scoops. I also added the dry herbs. I added vitamin B, and I added the healing tincture. The one thing that I did not add was salmon oil. I just realized that. So when I bring him the second half, I could add a little bit of fish oil to it. I also plugged in the Pet Remedy diffuser when I was cleaning out the litter boxes, so maybe that's going to help relax him a little bit. I just gave Ditto the second half of his dinner, so it's the same as the first half, but I remembered to put some salmon oil into it. And here he is, he's coming out to eat. So I'm not seeing any bald spots on him, considering how much cat hair has been shed in this room. Okay, I'm gonna let him eat. I gotta go feed Hydrox, and I have to go make sure that Boo eats his food and nobody else steals it from him. Boo's been having a hard time with Ditto over the past, like, day and a half. I don't know if it's jealousy issues or what, but just Boo has not really been himself, especially when, you know, they hear Ditto meowing or howling. Boo gets really upset by that kind of stuff. You know, for a thug, he's very, very sensitive. So here's Boo. When I gave the cats their dinner downstairs, instead of staying down there to eat, he immediately ran up the stairs, like, oh, I'm gonna go eat upstairs. And I was like, okay, you go. I was just gonna finish what I needed to do down there, which was clean up the food bowls. So I did that, then I came upstairs and I gave him his food here. And he eats like just a little bit off the top. And then he waits because he wants me to put some crunchies on it or some of the freeze-dried Stella and Chewies. And he doesn't eat it unless I'm like sitting here, which is not good. You know, he needs to get out of this habit. The problem is he really didn't eat much of his breakfast and he really didn't eat much of his dinner yesterday. And that's what I'm saying, where, you know, he's in this weird mood. But when it's time for crunchies or time for treats, he gobbles those up. So I don't think it's a health issue with him. I don't think it's an issue where there's something wrong physically. I think it's more of like an emotional or mental thing with Boo. And we know he has those kind of issues because of you know, that time that I had to take him to the animal hospital when I thought he had a UTI, but it was just like stress oriented. And the issue with the over grooming seems to be stress oriented also. So at least he's eating a fair bit right now. It would be great if he ate the entire plate, even if he just eats some of it. Now, like yesterday, he didn't want to eat his dinner, and I was like, okay, then we're just not going to have crunchies. You know, if you don't eat your dinner, there's no reason to have crunchies later at night. So when it was crunchy time, I gave him his dinner plate, and he didn't want it. So when it was time to give the cats their crunchies, I really wanted to just skip it and be like, okay, no crunchies tonight. But Stella, Splash, and Simba were really eager to have some crunchies. And there's no way that I could just give them crunchies and not give Boo crunchies, because then he'll like want to beat them up. And I would have to like physically separate him and put him in another room. So I didn't do that. What I did was I put his crunchies on top of his dinner, and he ate a few of them, but then he did not want to eat them. He just wanted to eat a plain plate of crunchies. So this is what he has done right now. I would say maybe he ate a fourth or a fifth of it. It's hard to tell. Another thing that I feel like is going on with Boo is that when he thinks one of the other cats wants his food, he will gladly give it to them. Like if he thinks Stella or Simba want his food, he'll be like, okay, you could have it. Because I noticed that's what he'll do. A lot of times he'll be eating fine, and then like Simba will walk over to him and he'll just abandon his plate and be like, okay, Simba, you could have it. So I think that's another issue with him. But over the past few days, what I've done is I've tried to just let him eat by himself up here. So like when the other cats are eating downstairs, if Boo runs up the stairs, I'll follow him. I'll shut the kitchen door so that the other cats are downstairs, and I'll give Boo food in here, and he just made Splash move away. And he still won't eat it, even with the cats downstairs, so I don't know, he's weird sometimes. But, like, what cat is not? Like, all cats are weird sometimes. But guess what? All people are weird sometimes also, so it's not just a cat thing. It is 8:25 p.m. and there's Hydrox. I just put some food out for him. I'm happy he's eating it. And it's a can of the Performatrin, and I put some of the chicken broth into it. And I mixed some of the homemade chicken broth into it. I made homemade chicken broth today. I forgot to say that I added that to Ditto's food, and the other cats got some also. So that's good that he's eating. It is 10 p.m. and I just brought a snack in for Ditto. It is a churro with some herbs on it, and it is some shredded chicken and a little bit of cooked ground beef that I've kind of sprinkled around there. I'm curious to see what he'll eat on this plate. There he is. He's hanging out under the day sofa. You want to eat it, Ditto? It's a snack for you. Okay, so he's not coming to get it. I am going to go out and give the cats their crunchies. Hydrox is outside eating the second half of his dinner. I gave him the first half around 8 o'clock, and then I went out for a little while. I just got back, so I gotta go check on him also. It's a little while later, and I just came back into the recovery room to see what Ditto ate, and look at that. He ate the churro, he ate the chicken, and he ate the beef. Ditto eats better than every other cat in this house. Hey, Ditto. I'm glad you like your snack. Tell the other cats that they should eat as good as you do. They're getting really picky. I gave them some of the ground beef also. They didn't want to eat it. And they don't like eating the cooked chicken either. All they want to eat is crunchies. And I'm not giving you any crunchies because we want to heal your mouth, right, Ditto? We want you to eat food that's like softer. You're happy now? Like with that food, you're not hungry anymore? Alright, you want to go to sleep? You want a good night? You gonna sleep under there? You comfortable on the hard floor like that, Ditto? You're comfortable on that hard floor? You know, I do have like a quilt I could put under there for you. It's on the floor, it's just on the other side of the day sofa. Would you like me to put it where you are now so you could lay on something soft? Or do you like the floor because it's cooler? You like the floor because it's cooler? Yeah? Okay. So I put this under the day sofa for Ditto, and he has not used it, so I'm going to take it out. And I just replaced it with this quilt. This is a quilt that was given to the cats from Sharon, I believe. So there's Ditto. He's still where he was. He still has plenty of room. And then there's the quilt. He could lay on it if he wants to, but he doesn't have to. See? There he is. So half of the area under here does not have a quilt, and half of the area does have a quilt. We'll see what he does. Alright, Ditto. Good night, Ditto. I want you to have a good night, okay? Thank you for watching this Lucky Ferals video. If you enjoyed it, please give it a thumbs up. Please subscribe if you'd like me to post more videos, and please make sure to check out these other videos that were selected especially for you.